Danny Lightning back, and there's some pretty big changes to robots on the current update that's about to go live in a few days. And number one, we're going to talk about the operations rework, which means a lot of extra prizes that you can get for free by doing the operations. So there's going to be a free tier and a paid tier again, and the free tier is going to have way more prizes. So you're going to get all kinds of extra stuff from the operations for free, which is awesome. So they're reworking that for the benefit of the players, and that is amazing. So that's the number one thing we're going to talk about, but that's huge. So let's move on to the next thing, but more free prizes. Awesome. So the next thing is there's going to be a whole bunch of robots and weapons that are currently tier 4, and they're getting pushed down to tier 3. And the good news is this really isn't going to affect anything other than it's going to make these robots and weapons cheaper to upgrade, which is really cool. It's not going to change the amount of specializations they get. Now they will lose the intel, but who cares? That doesn't really matter anyways. So yeah, there's really no change other than they're going to be cheaper to upgrade, and they're going to have a purple thing instead of a gold thing now. So yeah, kind of a cool deal, honestly. It's kind of a win for everybody on these items. So basically, Aljun, Ares, Behemoth, Blitz, Hades, Fenrir, Invader, Leech, and Phantom, all of those are going from tier 4 to tier 3, except for the ultimate versions. Of course, the ultimate versions are not going to be moved down. Next, we have the Avalanche, the Fainter, the Glacier, Cryo, Rime, Sinister Glacier, all the special editions that aren't ultimate as well. Punchers, Redeemers, Scotties, the Hells, the Scorchers, the Incinerators, the Vipers, and the Volts. So those are all going down to tier 3. The only difference is they will now be cheaper to upgrade, which is actually good for everybody, so no complaints there whatsoever. The performance of the robots and the weapons are going to stay the same, so don't get upset about that, guys. It just means they're cheaper to upgrade, which is a good thing. We're also going to have brand new advanced settings in the game, and we're also going to have the hit indication settings, letting us see how much damage we're doing to people and all kinds of stuff. So if you hit the little gear on the top right hand corner when you're in your hangar, you're just going to see some new settings that you can choose from, which is awesome. And I think it's even going to be able to show you how much damage you're doing to shields and stuff like that. So as you're shooting stuff, a new little thing's going to pop up on the screen so you can see how much damage you're doing. And it's going to be color coded. Yellow for Aegis shields, purple for absorbers, gray for physical, and red for durability. So that's kind of a cool little feature we're going to be seeing on the new update. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is all hangar access. Let's just say you have 5 hangars. You can drop any one of those robots at any time in the game from all 5 of those hangars. Or if you have 2 hangars, you can drop any robot. So if you have 2 hangars, you could set up 10 different robots that are ready to go. Now, you're only going to be able to drop 5 a game, but let's just say you're in a game and you're like, all right, I got this hangar set up for brawlers, but now I wish I had like a long-range robot. Well, now next time you drop in a robot, you can move over to hangar number 2 and grab one of those robots out of hangar number 2. So the more hangars you have set up, the more variety. I mean, you could have a sniper hangar set up, you could have a brawler hangar set up, you could have a support hangar set up, and then you could just switch back and forth between the type of robots during the game. Like I said, still, you can only drop 1 Titan and 5 robots per game, but now you can pick any of the hangars, any robot out of any one of the hangars, instead of just using one specific hangar. So that's actually a really cool upgrade. I'm looking forward to that big time. Of course, the new Bjorn Titan is coming to the game. I'll probably be live streaming that on Tuesday. I should be getting a hold of this on at least the Battle Rec account or one of the accounts on Tuesday, so we'll get to live stream it, play it, see what it's actually like on the live server. So you might want to tune in to that. That will be Tuesday, let's find out the date. So March the 4th, I'll be live streaming that on 2025. Then we have the new Titan weapon. I don't know if that's called the Hugin or the Hugin, but yeah, new Titan weapons, new crazy energy weapons are coming out, so I'm a little scared. I think the new Titan and the new weapons are probably going to be ridiculous, but we won't know for sure until we get to play them and try them out and see what they're like on the live server, because you can't judge anything by the way it was on the test server. That's just for testing. They take the info from the test server and then they decide what they want to do with it on the live server. So the test server just gives them the information they need to decide how they actually want to set it up on the live server. And sometimes it's extremely different than the way it was on the test server. So you just can't judge anything by the test servers. Next, we have the other Titan weapon, the Moonin, whatever it is, the Roy Munson, something like that. But yeah, 2 new Titan weapons, an alpha and a beta. Those are coming out on the next update, along with the crazy Bjorn Titan. There will, of course, be a brand new pilot coming out for the new Titan. It is the Sigrid Solmer, and it's got a ability called Heavy Metal and Pure Destruction, I guess. Whatever that means, I don't know. But you can see down here, if you want to read that, I'm too lazy to read that. But if you want to read that, you can see what the pilot does right there. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Pause it if you need to read it. But yeah, next thing. There is a brand new mothership coming out called the Bifrost. I think this is going to be kind of like this might be an attack and a durability ship. It's a little weird. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get on the test server. For some reason, when I try and log on, it doesn't work. So I haven't really got to try these things out. So I'm not 100% sure how this ship works, but it sounds like it's going to be quite interesting. And it might do some attack and give you some durability as well, from what I'm understanding, but seems like it's going to be a pretty interesting mothership. Next, we are going to see the Ultimate Leech with the Ultimate Tulumba weapon. So Ultimate Leech and Ultimate Tulumbas is coming out. That thing is going to be a monster, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can't guarantee it. Sometimes these ultimate weapons and robots come out and they suck, but 90% of the time, they're really, really, really good. Leech is probably going to be amazing if you can get one. The Tulumba weapons, I don't know. I'm not a fan of rockets, but if you like rockets, you'll probably like them. The Leech, on the other hand, is probably just going to be a horrible monster, and it's not going to be any fun to deal with when you have to fight one. That's my guess. Can't guarantee it, but I got a feeling it's going to be a nightmare. And basically, they're going to be coming out with a new Leech pilot that heals the Leech up and makes him even harder to kill. So not only does he attach to you and steal your life, now he gets to heal up with the pilot. So yeah, that's going to make that thing even more dangerous. So that's a little bit scary. Now, before we talk about the rebalances, and there are about 9,000 of them, so there's too many to go over on this video, but I will post a link to where you can see this sheet if you want to and read over all the rebalances yourself to see what they finalized and the ones they actually came up with. But there's also a bunch of technical fixes. They fixed the inaccurate projectile targeting for Duxbot's built-in weapons. They fixed an issue causing infinite loading while leaving a squad after a match. They fixed duplicate clan tags appearing in the clan battle. They fixed Retro Revenant's legs facing the wrong direction in the hangar. Never seen that one. They fixed the Kestrel's description. They fixed no mobility icon for Chong in its description. I don't know what that means. They fixed the instant Titan upgrades not being counted in tasks. They fixed negative status icons not appearing next to the enemy's robots, and they fixed an issue where Rook's physical shield would sometimes fail to restore after using the ability. So that's actually really good. And then you can see there's a bunch of motherships. There's one pilot, the Dux pilot's getting a nerf. There's some motherships, there's some drones getting a nerf. I mean, there's a lot of things getting a buff as well. So these aren't all negative changes. Some of these are positive, some of these are negative, but all these things here are getting rebalanced. They're either being buffed or nerfed. But I will put a link in the video's description where you can read through all of this. But there's a lot of stuff being changed here, like a lot of stuff. Now, some of this is cool. Like the tier is getting a big giant buff. The Baglasuri, well, he's probably getting nerfed. The Nodens is getting a big old buff. The Aether is getting a buff. The Mauler is getting a nerf. Most of these robots that have been a nightmare and just ruining the game lately, sucking the fun out of the game, like the Condor and the Ducks, those are all getting rebalanced and downgraded. The Mauler is getting downgraded. The horrible acid shotguns are getting a nerf. So some of those things that have been plaguing the battlefield are going to be downgraded. So they're not going to be as horrible to deal with. Now, I'm not really sure if the Mauler is going to be easy to kill or, still really tough. I think he's still going to be really good. I just don't think he's going to be unstoppable anymore. once they remove some of the defense points and all that stuff. So they're basically giving the Mauler a durability buff, and then they're taking away a bunch of his defense points and making so his ability doesn't last as long and it's not as strong and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna help out and balance the battlefield a little bit more when some of these things are being downgraded. But there are a lot of things also being upgraded. Like the Bagler is getting an upgrade, the Raptor is getting a downgrade, the Pathfinder is getting a downgrade, Nemesis is getting an upgrade, Raven upgrade, Spectre upgrade, Tyr upgrade, Riker upgrade, Pursuer upgrade, Hiachi upgrade, Strider upgrade, Balgasari upgrade, Nether upgrade. So there's a lot of things that are getting buffed, which is pretty cool. They're even they're even buffing the Arthur, guys. The Arthur is getting a buff, but honestly, I mean, the Nodin's buff is awesome. I think the Rook is getting a buff. I don't know. I'd have to read through that to see if that's a buff or a nerf on the Rook. Newton, Aether, Sirius. Sirius is getting a nice buff. Aether is getting a good buff. Newton's getting a good buff, right? So there's a lot of good stuff here. Personally, I like most of these rebalances. There's a few that I'm not 100% sure that I agree with, but most of this stuff, it doesn't look bad. Like, it doesn't look like some of these are super drastic, like they're going to kill anything off completely, I don't think. I mean, I did read through a bunch of them the other day, but I mean, there's like 95 things on here, so it's just too much to go through. But yeah, the video's description and the pinned comment, I will put a link to this page right here, where you can read through all the nerfs and buffs yourself, because there's just so many of them. There's just so many of them. It would take an hour to go over all the Titans, the Titan weapons, the robots, the robot weapons, the drones, the motherships, the this, the that, the other thing. There's 947 items on here. So yeah, we're not going to go over the nerfs and buffs on this video, but there's a lot of them. But honestly, there's actually a lot of really cool changes. I mean, it's not so bad that they're moving those tier 4 robots down to tier 3. That's just going to make them cheaper to upgrade. So now when you get one, it's probably going to cost, even if you build one in the workshop, it's probably going to cost less to build one. It's going to cost less to upgrade. I mean, that's really good. I mean, there's some nice stuff. We're getting more free stuff in the operations passes. That's awesome. So there's a lot of things that are actually benefiting the players on this update. Now, the advanced controls and stuff like that, I don't know, that's going to be interesting. The hit notifications, that's going to be interesting. But in about 5 days from the time I posted this video, today is the 26th of February, so in about 5 days, you'll start to see more of these balance changes go live. Most of these aren't actually live yet, but they will be going live very, very soon. So generally March 4th, I think March 4th is the day the next update officially starts. So sometime after the 4th is when we're going to see a lot of these go live. Now, there are a few things they have already added to the game, like the advanced controls, but a lot of these things won't start going live until March 4th or a little bit later. So I'm not sure if the balance changes have taken place yet. They haven't announced anything about it. It does seem like the Raptor's jump isn't going as far, so maybe they put some of the balance changes in play already. I'm not 100% sure, but anyways, the majority of these changes will start on March 4th, and some of them might not go live till a little later, or they might all go live on the 4th. We'll find out. But yeah, March 4th, I'll be streaming the brand new Titan, so everybody get ready. We'll be trying out the Titans and the weapons and the new mothership and everything else if everything goes right. I mean, I just have to wait for them to send the items over to the Battlerec account, and then I can play them and try them out. So as soon as I get those items that day, I'll be live streaming that stuff. Huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for the extra support. It really helps this channel keep running and bringing you videos just like this. If you check out the pinned comment or the video's description, you'll see my affiliate links where you can get some really amazing stuff from lighting, cameras, microphones, stuff for your kitchen, stuff to make your room look cool, and all kinds of amazing stuff. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe watch one of these other videos that are just about to pop up on the screen here in just a second. Thank you so much for watching. You guys and gals are amazing. Lightning out. Have a wonderful day, and we will catch you next time. See ya.